Hey everybody, what's up? This is TB University, episode 7. A bit of a tough weekend for the hometown teams, but we're going to get into it. If you didn't see our last episode, TB3, where we talked Bucks and Rays, go ahead and watch that too. But if you didn't really care about that, if you're just here for the college content, I understand. So I will say, I hope everybody stayed safe during Hurricane Helene. TB3 is here for you guys. If you need anything, hit up the page. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, hope everybody stayed safe. And I hope you guys are able to get through this weekend like we unfortunately had to, because, Saturday night I was going through it. I was going through it big time. I got hit with a sucker punch at 12 o'clock. And I got hit with a knockout blow at about 8 o'clock.
That's brutal because you got to kind of get up and get ready for the FSU game, in that 3:30 window, and then just right back down. Not good. I had to.
You survived.
I had to go through the USF Bulls game, but no Gators game. Bye weeks are almost my favorite week of the year for college football this year.
Yeah, and the best part is, I ruined an ESPN Instant Classic that night as well. Because I was just about ready to just quit. But, also if you missed me last week, probably there's still Miami fans looming in the videos. You probably wanted to hear what I had to say, too.
Oh, we'll get to
and
you
I just
later.
want to make it clear. I want to make it clear, okay? Wasn't dodging the episode. I was sicker than a dog.
Because you got thrown up on.
Yeah, I got thrown up by some drunk Canes fan, couldn't handle her liquor. And she threw up on me. And you know what? I almost crashed out. There's only one person that stopped me from doing it. It was my Lord and Savior, and Colby too. But I had to pray. I was like, please keep me calm. Keep me calm. I might crash out. I'm a Sigma.
Man.
Rule number 1: you don't throw up on the Yeezys. And they got splashed. There's some throw-up splash on them.
Man.
And then another Canes fan, Oppenheimer, could have been Oppenheimer, I'm not sure, had the bright idea, let me fill up a cup of water and start pouring it on it. Because, that's just going to magically clean it and not cause a waterfall of throw-up that'll go down from level to level.
Oh, man.
Pure genius. Miami,
Miami
sorry, Florida,
education.
You are no longer Harvard of the South. It has to go to the University of Miami. But yeah, I wasn't ducking you guys last week if you're still waiting around because you're keyboard warriors. You got nothing better to do. You don't got jobs. All you do is just find anything related to the Canes. And you happen to blow up our video, our USF Bulls content. So thanks for the views, guys. Thanks for the views. We really appreciate you guys supporting us.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys are a pretty trash fan base. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
You're pretty trash.
They got to touch grass, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And quit taking stuff so personal.
Seriously.
Who hurt you so hard, man?
Oh, my gosh.
Who hurt you?
But stick around. Friends of friends are how friendships are made.
Yeah, you can get a good... Honestly, all 3 of your rivals are on this panel. You can get a good...
Yeah, check this out.
Yeah,
Make you mad?
That's one-stop cooking.
Yeah,
one-stop
seriously.
shop.
So, hey, you guys can come back for the Florida State Miami episode. You played all 3 of our teams this year. You'll probably beat all 3 of them. You got a good team. None of us never once did any of us not say that.
I'm not, like we're going to talk about later, I'm not ready to give it to them.
Yeah. But, brutal. And then USF Bulls, played like they got thrown up on this week as they went to New Orleans, not to the Superdome. We talked about that last week, just to their on-campus stadium. Still crazy they played in the Superdome. That's pretty electric. But the Tulane Green Wave hosted the USF Bulls, and they gave the Bulls a shellacking as Tulane would win this one 45-10, go up 31-0 in the first half. And this was a pretty embarrassing loss for the USF Bulls, and probably the worst one we've seen in a while. Man, really bad loss.
Worse since what?
So I said in all sports, Rays, Bucks, Lightning, Gators, Florida State, USF, all the sports we cover, I think this is the worst loss in the TB3 era. The only one that comes close is the Rays playoff loss, but this one was embarrassing. Just an embarrassing performance by the USF Bulls.
I was thinking that Bucks game we went to, but this is worse, but that Bucks game.
That wasn't TB3 era.
It was just
That
before.
was that was
9-0.
Yeah, that was 2021.
That was one of the worst experiences
It was
in
bad.
sports I've ever had.
Really bad. Yeah, this was just, I mean, total an egg laid by USF. I mean, what do we got, fellas?
Yeah, and the worst part about it is there's just nothing good to take away. There's nothing good to take away from this game. You got dominated on offense and you got dominated on defense, and it really worries me. It worries me going into the rest of the year because you looked like a team that gave up. You looked like a team that gave up, that didn't care, didn't want to be there, didn't want to show up. It wasn't a primetime game. It wasn't, on national TV for everybody to see. You going toe-to-toe with some big dogs, and you just looked like you didn't care to be there. And that's not good. You have a chance to be special this year. We've talked about it all year. This team is uber talented in G5. And I just don't know what to make of it. Have you given up? Is that it? You couldn't beat Miami or Bama, and that's a wrap? You just don't care about AAC play?
It's concerning because last week I came on the show and was like, oh, it's okay. We're not going to go on a skid. This team's disciplined. This team's well coached. They have heart. They have dignity. And then they come out and they do this. So
yeah, are you guys
I'm kind of stumped.
Oh, sorry. Are you guys starting to question Coach Golesh and his system? Because I'm with Will, man. It really seems like this team is almost bipolar with the effort and their intensity that they give. I mean, this is one of the better teams in the conference. On the road, you can go make a statement and set the tone for conference play, and you come out flat as ever. I mean, this was just not the team I've seen. I mean, the defense, looks dominant against Alabama, and ever since then, it's like very
just
questionable.
Beat probably the best team in the country.
Yeah, it's crazy. And seriously, and they ran all over them. And then, Miami, first half, your offense moves up and down the field. Byron Brown looks way better, and the offense looks terrible this week. It looks terrible for 6 straight quarters. I mean, 6 straight quarters of horrible football, disgraceful football. And I get this is Coach Golesh's second year, but you have to question. This is not winning football. This is not the type of energy and effort that it takes to win at a Division I level. And I mean, this looks like a Jeff Scott USF team. I mean, this was a horrible game, and it was pretty sickening to watch.
Devious pull there.
Yeah.
Devious name pull. But yeah, it is sickening, and I think, I guess my biggest question is, what are you more focused on? Because I think what we heard all offseason, it's like you would have thought that USF was playing 2 games, and that was Alabama and Miami. And you got the boys to show up for most of both of those games. You got them to play hard and play way better than probably what they are. But do you not care about other games you're supposed to win, or at least supposed to compete in? Tulane's not better than Bama or Miami.
Tulane's not better than USF.
No,
not 45-10 better. I mean, not talent wise. I mean, they just looked like a more focused and energized and connected team. USF. I mean, that was pitiful, man. I can't come up with any more words to describe how bad of a game that was. And I'm with Will, man. You have to be able to get up. I mean, these crowds, these intensity, this is the AAC. This is not going to be the same type of intensity that was in Tuscaloosa or was in Raymond James against Miami. That should not dictate your play. I mean, even we've seen USF go to a smaller crowd against Southern Miss. They came out flat, and they punched back and they showed fight, and there was no fight in this game. And I just don't know what happened. This is just, it's puzzling to me.
Yeah, I really don't have answers. To be honest, I don't have answers right now. I really don't. I mean, you can chalk up the easy one.
Yeah, Jalen Schuler back too.
Young team. Yeah, and even the defense, I think they played worse than the offense did. I think
30 first downs to 12.
Yeah, 30 first downs. You didn't even really let them get to third down, and when you did, they were 8 for 12. So that's just pitiful. No pass rush, no drive.
Shut out for the first 28 minutes.
Yeah, shut out. And then offense. I'm sick of seeing. I've seen it almost like a trend, but I'm sick of seeing these long screens where Byron Brown or anybody has to make like a 30-yard pass to the wide receiver on the sideline and try to make a play. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It was a bad game plan. You got rocked. I think the O-line played terrible as well. You got Byron Brown killed.
26 rushing yards for USF.
Yeah, couldn't establish the run game. Every facet of the game was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Wasn't Byron Brown shaken up toward the end pretty bad?
He was out for the rest of the game, and Archie came in. And I honestly don't know the status of Brown. I've not seen anything. I know they have the bye week to recover, so he could be back for Memphis, but I haven't seen anything outside of that. So.
Yeah, it's a bye week at the perfect time. The USF is beat up mentally and physically. Yeah, hoping for the best for Byron Brown. That did not look good, but he was able to walk off on his own power. But yeah, 26 yards rushing. That can pretty much tell the story of why this was an unsuccessful USF offensive attack. They rely on that rushing game, and this is 2 straight games where the offensive line has gotten no push. Byron Brown hasn't been able to get it going with his legs. And it's pretty concerning. This offensive line they moved people against Alabama. They had, I think, 300-plus yards against Southern Miss, and then ever since then, it's been nothing. And, I think this O-line has a talent. I think this team has a talent, but they're going to have to come out with more intensity, especially against, probably the second-best team in the American, coming up in a couple weeks. Yeah, there's no other way. It was a terrible game. It was a terrible game, and there's no game for us to preview. I think, it's important for this last stretch. What is it? 7 more games. You have got to prove to USF that you are a better team than last year. You have to prove that you took at least a step forward. Because right now, I would not be shocked to see USF again be 6-6 as the season concludes.
After you play like that, you could be back to even worse. So.
Yeah, no, seriously. And another thing is USF has to get some type of win, and I think the buck has to stop at Memphis, because
and that's your season too, because you come in with all these hopes of potentially conference championship. You lose that game, you're not going.
Nope.
So that's it. That is your last chance.
Yeah, now Navy looks really good, and you have them at home.
Yeah.
So it's going to – there's still some tough games on the schedule. And since 2019, USF has still not beaten an FBS team that has finished the season with a winning record. 5 years. They have got to break that streak this year. This USF team is capable of better. We know they are. We've seen it. They have to come out with their hair on fire Friday night against Memphis. And they got to use this bye week to get healthy and get right, because that was pathetic. I think you can go to coaching, but I do think USF does kind of lack a player leader on that team. I think maybe you look at, Jalen Shuler maybe, but even him, he wasn't able to get the defense fired up. There's no one really on offense. I don't think, Brown or Atkins are really vocal guys. So definitely lacking heart.
He's a student of the game. Yeah.
But
he's gritty.
Yeah. This USF team is lacking heart, because we've seen now, you give up at the end of the Alabama game. You come out flat against Southern Miss. You really win only based on talent. You give up in the second half and come out flat against Miami after you get stopped a couple drives, and then you play 4 quarters of uninspired football. So they just want to see better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad we're getting the bye week.
Yeah, that's going to be good. So no USF game this week.
I'm scared. Before we go, I'm scared about this Memphis game, because even if they show out, Memphis is a bigger school, bigger team. Like they're prominent. So like if we come up and we play well against these guys, it's like, well, that was just another bigger team. Like we kind of had to win that game. So I don't know. Like it's just it won't be impressive to me, I'd say. Like we might just do some of the same old stuff.
I see what you're saying. You're saying that if they come out on fire, it's just because it's a big
it's a big game. This is for the championship of the conference, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think a good test will be that Navy game, coming up. I think it's in either late October, November 9th. Okay,
but it's hard to say, because like we've beaten up on Southern Miss, we beat up on Bethune, so it's like maybe we can beat the little guys, but then we lose to Tulane. So
but look how they struggled against Southern Miss to start the game. So
yeah. It's definitely an enigma.
Yeah, get it together, Goalish. We believe in you. We give you our support. Hate to dog on you, but you got it. That's unacceptable. Year 2 of the program, it's unacceptable.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately.
Yep, absolutely.
We should continue to support you guys, though, but come on. Let's get it right. Bye week, like you guys said, bye week came in a perfect time. Let's get right for Memphis.
Speaking of bye weeks at the perfect time, Florida did not lose a game last week. The Florida Gators were undefeated last week, if you will. They had a bye week, and they're 2-2 and headed into their bye week, and they come out of their bye week on Saturday night, October 5th, with a big in-state matchup against the UCF Golden Knights, a team that was 3-0 headed into this week, but suffered their first loss to Coach Prime and Shadur against the Colorado Buffaloes. And UCF, this is a bad matchup in my opinion for for UCF and Florida. It's a bad matchup for Florida because UCF, they're all about running the ball. They have one of the better running backs in the country in R.J. Harvey. Electric guy. I think some of you guys, if you play NCAA, you guys know all about him because he is fast on that game and really good. And he's just as good in real life. And they also have a running quarterback, a quarterback that the Gators know pretty well, KJ Jefferson, former Arkansas quarterback, a guy who ran all over Florida last year in one of their worst losses of the Billy Napier era when he was at Arkansas in the swamp. Black jerseys did not matter. It was Florida's funeral, actually, not Arkansas's. And, so, I look at UCF averages 326 yards rushing per game. Florida, pretty much every game that has had a team with a pulse, that team has ran for over 200 yards against them. So if you're looking at this game, it comes down to can the defensive line and the front seven, Shamar James, Derek Wingo, Cam Jackson, Desmond Watson, you're 400 pounds. You got to stop the run, my man.
Yeah, I'll lose a couple pounds too.
Maybe. He has been. And he's been all right. But Florida has to be able to stop the run game. It comes down to that. If they can't stop the run game, this will be a UCF blowout victory. It will be another embarrassing game in front of your fans in the swamp. So, I don't know. Any thoughts on this game, fellas?
Yeah, I mean, all throughout the offseason, UCF Twitter blowing up. I've seen a bunch of AI edits of them filling out Benny Hill, the stadium painted to gold and black. And, I got kind of worried that UCF was kind of the truth. I thought KJ Jefferson was he's the dual threat, not the great passer, but he can really punish you with his legs. And him going to UCF, and they got a bunch of weapons. I thought maybe this would be a tough game for Florida, but you might not like this. I think Florida would be perfect in the Big 12 right now. I think they got the perfect team for it. No defense, pretty solid offense. And I think we'll probably see something like that this Saturday, a high scoring game. But I'm confident that that the University of Florida will get the W. Wow. I really am. Because I was looking at stats, and KJ Jefferson, you look at their schedule. UCF has played New Hampshire, Sam Houston. I mean, those teams might lose to the School of the Blind. And a close game against TCU, who have fallen off. Sonny Dykes and them fallen off. Cincinnati. KJ Jefferson, despite that 3-0 start before getting shellacked by Coach Prime, KJ Jefferson has the worst production of any quarterback in the FBS. He's only in front of one man. Can you name him?
Byron Brown?
No. Byron Brown's, he's thrown some touchdowns.
DJU.
Yeah. So, and CU does not have a great defense. They have the best.
They looked a lot better, though.
They looked a lot better, and that's why I think that the Gators have a legit chance, and they should beat them. I think they will. So give me the Gators in this. I think it's going to be an easy win for them. Might be a high-scoring game, but I think the Gators handle business. I hate to say it, but I think that's the truth.
Joel, any keys, and then you can give your prediction.
Yeah, don't let UCF come in and be all cocky. Like, they're gonna want to be cocky. They're gonna want to see, we're in the Big 12 now, but SEC's coming up next. So
yeah, they want to be a part. They're Power 5 now. They want to be a part of the big dogs.
Or remind them they're the little brother, just a little brother.
Yeah. Personal anecdote. I went to the 2021 Gasparilla Bowl, and
no way,
Florida.
I did too.
Yeah, Florida and UCF. We did not go together, because that was. And you were preying on Florida's downfall that day. I remember.
I was like this the whole time.
But Yeah, Florida and UCF played in Raymond James, my hometown, and it was really, really sad, man. It was just a lot of UCF fans, obviously a closer drive, and that was the year Dan Mullen got fired, so that was just a horrible Florida team. Emory Jones, and, Florida, they went back and forth, but UCF pulled it out. They were the team, with a better record. They kind of got matched up with Florida just based on, getting the views and stuff like that. Wasn't really like UCF had a much better record, but they're also in the American at that time. But, ever since then, UCF fans really hold on to that win like it matters. There's a bowl game. Everyone's opting out, and it's a horrible Florida team. But, whatever, we can hold on to the Gasparilla Bowl, whatever you guys want to hold on to, your fake national championship. Whatever UCF fans, they like to hold on to random stuff. And I'm just really frustrated that this team is the team that's playing UCF at home. It's like, could we have not gotten them, during the actual Dan Mullen era? We would have smoked them. Even earlier than that. But
2017 would have been a matchup, man.
Florida would have won that game.
Would have been a good game.
Would have been a good game, but Florida would have won that game by 2 scores.
Even 2018 would have been a good game too.
Yeah, UCF
almost ended Burrow's career,
but they started it actually. Subsequently, that big hit in the stare down, and then but
that was so funny, dude.
That was, but he locked back in.
Did Burrow's crack fly out too? He got hit so hard his pants kind of came down. Or was that Texas A&M? I can't remember.
I think it was Texas A&M.
He was a laughing stock, and then all of a sudden LSU's the greatest team ever assembled.
He was in
2019.
He was overhated in 2018, and 2019 he was.
I don't know, because I even remember watching him in 2018. I was like, not that.
He was
great.
he's pretty mad. He threw, dude, electric moment in my life. I watched him play against Florida in the Swamp 2018, and he threw a pick 6 to seal it. Very electric moment. I was there. But yeah, I'm very frustrated that this is the time we're playing UCF. I guess I'll pick last. Joel, you got your prediction?
Let's go big boy scores. Let's go 41 30 33. I'm doing my football math. 41-33 Gators.
Wow. Joel or Will, what was your score?
Quick note though, that 2018, one of the best games I've ever watched randomly was that 2018 LSU team when they went into 9 overtimes with Texas A&M.
Oh my gosh, yes. That was crazy.
74-72.
That made them change the overtime rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was an awesome game. But no, my prediction is pretty close to Joel's. I think the Gators get done 39-34.
I think this is weird because my 2 co-hosts who aren't Florida fans picked Florida.
Hey, I'm a Florida fan.
No,
I'll wear my Gators shirt next week just to prove it.
My one co-host that flies with the wind when it comes to college sport.
Got my USF shirt on today. I do what I want.
I think I'm going to pick against the Gators. I think I'm going to pick against the Gators. I think they're going to lose 42 to 35. 42 to 30. Actually, 42 to 38. The Gators are going to lose. I don't think they stop the run, and I just don't know if the Gators offense is explosive enough to win.
Have some faith in your team, man.
Hey, maybe
have some faith in Billy Napier. When has he ever let you down?
And with that, my point is sealed. But yeah, I think the Gators are going to lose on Saturday. I'm really nervous, and I'm going to hate it because I don't like UCF fans. They're up there on the power rankings of fans I don't like.
As bad as the Gators are, segueing into what once was a storied program, I think as bad as they are, and as much as I hate them, I think they somehow are going to turn the season around a little bit.
Really? Not
that they're going to get a huge win, but I think just knowing them, they'll somehow scrape 5 wins together or something, or 6 maybe. And it might be the team we're about to talk about who is last because they are the best, but this might be the last season of this for foreseeable future. That was the Florida State Seminoles coming off of a huge win against Cal, ACC rival, as they say now. Coming in, try to bring the wokes Marxism into Doak, and they were denied. They try to implement critical race theory and medical marijuana, but the Noles were able to get the win. And then they go and play SMU, and I for one was feeling super confident because SMU, who looked really good last year with Preston Stone, he gets benched. They almost lose to it was Utah State or I think it was Nevada.
Yeah,
like the first week of the year,
week 0.
Yeah, they looked pretty bad, and so I thought, man, this might be a game that FSU can win. Start a little streak going. But I was surely wrong, as I've been about a lot of things this year regarding the Seminoles. But just how this whole year's gone, I might be cursed. There's some sort of curse on me. Or it might be the guy that said he was going to eat dog poop if they lost to Boston College and hasn't. And he's just holding...
Can I have a side note real quick?
Yeah.
So the guy with the dog poop did not do it.
He didn't do it.
But wait.
I think he extended the curse.
But here's the thing. The dude, Kansas State fan, says if we lose to BYU, I'm putting a beefy burrito up my butt. And
he did it.
And
I saw the picture.
Yeah, and I saw the picture too. It was pretty jarring. And Kansas State wins. So yes, I think it's
a huge win.
I think it's absolutely the dog poop curse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy needs to be found.
I've been cursed since like December of last year. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget like watching Florida State play the greatest defensive game I've ever seen in my life. Sitting with my dad, and he's like, "This team could win it all. With that defense, they could win it all. Doesn't matter about the offense. That defense could win it all." And the very next day, something happened. Something shifted. Maybe I'm in the alternate timeline. These are not my two co-hosts. You guys are the evil versions or something. Like I'm lost. I'm trapped interdimensionally. And I'm living a nightmare. Because Florida State...
Evil Colby be like, go Yankees.
Go Hurricanes!
Oh, no.
Yep. Okay, now I know. But, yeah. We lost to Southern Methodist. The cheaters of old. They did NIL before it was cool or legal. Eric Dickerson went there. Hall of Fame running back. We lost to him. Embarrassingly, 42-16. And I think the worst part about this game, is, dare I say, that was the best game they played offensively. It was the best game. For the first half of that game, it was like the best they've looked outside of the first drive against Georgia Tech. And that's the worst part. And he still got blown out. And I think that team, what they did in the second half is they officially quit. They quit. They have... Norvell's lost, at least this team, this season, he's lost them. And you can say a lot of circumstances. I couldn't imagine trying to coach a team after everything that's gone off since that fateful day when Alabama was put in front of Florida State. I don't know how you could coach that team and say, now you guys have to win. Now it means something again. Winning, you have a chance to do this. I don't know how you could have done it. And clearly he failed. But I don't blame him for that. But he definitely lost the team. You look at the game, Florida State was moving the ball pretty efficiently, down 14-7. Florida State late in the first half is up at SMU's goal line, hopefully to tie the game. They decide to go for it on fourth instead of taking the points. Decide to run big, slow DJU twice in a row on third down and fourth down and goal. Did not get it. And if you learn from Friday game, you take the points when you get them. But SMU fools around and punts the ball back into the end zone and gets a safety on that very next drive. And it's Florida State. You're thinking, okay, it's 14-9. You got some momentum. You're able to sneak away some points even though you didn't deserve it. And now you're getting the ball in the second half. And that very first drive, DJ Ungole throws to a wide open Kyle Morlock. I think he's known as More Drops now in the Tallahassee area. Drops it, gets tipped up, interception. And that was kind of all she wrote. I know FSU, they answered right back with a touchdown of their own, believe it or not. And then after a terrible face mask call on the punt, SMU, it was all SMU from there. And they gave up. I mean, they just let DJU get killed. They let Brock Glenn get killed. Defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. It was just embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Willie Taggart era type stuff. Unacceptable.
And it's a shame because the first half of the game was fun. Like I was like, okay,
They looked good.
This is
That's
some
the worst
football I
part.
can
They
get
looked
behind.
good.
Yeah.
They looked good. DJU looked like he knew what he was doing. The O-line was blocking. Jeremiah Byers was back playing, and he looked great.
Like I was willingly watching this game over Georgia Alabama because I was like, this is a good game. Like I don't want to miss this. And look how they returned to the favor to me.
Yeah, and the worst part is like going into half, I was like, I believe this team could win. I think they could win this game if they continue to play like they had. And goodness sakes, I mean, just embarrassing.
And the storyline would have been so fun too. Like SMU's first ACC game. Look how that went. But nope.
And they were like, they got in the ACC and were like, all the new ACC teams hate Florida State because they saw who the ACC was adding and they were like, yeah, we're out. Rightfully so. I mean, you're trying to stay alive. You're trying to stay relevant, and you add Cal, Stanford, and SMU. I mean, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. You programs who hate us, look in the mirror. You are not going to elevate that program in any way. You'll get the GPA up, probably the Stanford boys. Maybe sneak a win. Didn't they beat Syracuse?
They did. They did.
Maybe sneak a win here.
I'm telling you, SMU is going to just have a random good year because the oil money.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely going to happen. Yeah, no, this.
But yeah.
Honestly, man, I'm going to say this. As a Florida fan, I went through this during the Willie Taggart days, and I think that, Will might agree. When your rival team is this down bad, it's not really even fun to watch them lose. Like, I remember, during the Jameis Winston era, when they lost the game, it hit like, drugs, man. Like, it hit so hard, man. And then even, like, Georgia Tech this year. Oh, it's so exciting. FSU loses. This is awesome. Ha, ha, ha. They came out flat in Ireland. And then now it's like, they're 1-3. And I'm like, well, I don't even care.
Yeah, who cares? They suck.
Seriously, it's not even fun anymore. It sucks. And I'm sure Will feels the same way about when the Gators lose, because it sucks that all these teams are down bad. Like Florida and Florida State, as much as they can't agree, I think they both can agree that college football is better when they're doing well, and they both seem to be on the uptick, going back up to relevance, and they have come to a screeching halt.
Look at the 90s. We were trading champion.
Yeah,
we were trading natties.
I mean, playing in the natty rematch, electric. It's getting smoked by Florida, but I mean, that's all right. That's not what we're talking about. Yeah, this is just it sucks to be a Florida State fan and see them run out of gas or run out of will.
Yeah, I think as ESPN's doings, you're putting us on prime time, and at first I was like, the logo carries some weight, guys. The logo carries weight. We could be terrible, and you'll still put us on prime time. But I think it's ESPN punishing us.
It was ACC Network. Like let's not say it was like real prime time.
Yeah, but put us out on at like 12 or on a Thursday, please.
Thursday.
But you're putting us at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night.
They're gonna play like.
I mean, they're
gonna play Florida.
It's the same time as Georgia Alabama. Nobody was watching it.
Like we played Cal at 8 o'clock, and Miami's gonna play them at 10:30.
Oh yeah, well it's at Cal probably, right?
Yeah, but still, like.
That's a primetime game
people are
for
going to be
Cal.
asleep, like outside of the East Coast, where everything matters in the world. Eastern Standard Time, God's time. Everybody's going to be asleep. But now I think it's just ESPN. They're punishing us.
They might be.
But yeah, breaking news. I think the biggest news out of this week: Brock Glenn has been named the starter against Clemson coming up this weekend. Again, another primetime game. It's at 7. Whoopee. DJU had a finger injury, and he could be out for the foreseeable future, but I think we all know what that means. He got benched, and they're just trying to save face, and I'm fine with that. You don't have to embarrass them. You don't have to bench them, and I'm cool with them not doing it. I think it helps, too, for transfers, that if you can use some injury, you're at least with the transfer portal, which you're going to have to go back to again. You're not gonna say and that's the worst part. I love the NIL, but heaven forbid you bench a transfer portal quarterback because no other transfers are gonna want to go to a school where you have the opportunity to get benched for playing bad. What a world we live in.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But yeah, Brock Glenn just started against Clemson.
Any questioning of Mike Norvell and the staff?
Yes.
Just in general.
Recruiting has been horrible.
Yeah.
I think the coaches. I think Adam Fuller, what he did last year. I still think you can argue with me till you're blue in the face. I think Florida State had the best defense last year. Period. Hands down. Look at the second half. They allowed 4 points a half in the third and fourth quarter. 4 points. I think you can go toe-to-toe with anybody with that. Jared Verse could take over games. You just look at all those names. Kalen DeLoach, Fabian Lovett, Braden Fisk. Braden Fisk, man. Renardo Green. All those guys. Jaharian Jones, the highest graded cornerback from last season. So there's a lot of good players on the team, but I think, again, Florida State had the best defense last year. And I think from what I've seen this year, obviously it's a lot harder. You don't got those names. I think he's been all right. But, the linebackers have looked terrible. Special teams has been the best, but the same special teams coordinator is also coaching the defensive ends. And Patrick Payton and Marvin Jones Jr. just simply aren't getting it done. I think the quarterback's coach, Tony Tokars, he should probably go. What quarterback has looked good at Florida State outside of Travis? And even Travis
took him a long time.
So, I think recruiting's been a big issue with some of the guys on the staff, and Mike's needed to make some changes. I'd say linebackers for sure, quarterbacks. Maybe even I like Alex Atkins, but maybe you need to bring somebody else to call plays, somebody different, a fresh look. Because the Alex Atkins thing hasn't been working out. So, but yeah, they play Clemson. It obviously won't look good. They played Stanford. They kept it close for a long, long time in that game. But I think Stanford's probably could beat Florida State right now, so that might not mean much. I think we'll get into it really quick. I think Clemson wins probably. I'm going to say 40-19.
Yeah, I think it could be a similar game where FSU, it's at home, right? It's at Doak. FSU keeps it close. Crowd's pretty revved up. It's Clemson, smelling upset. I think they keep it close for the first half. But I do think Clemson's looked pretty good since that Georgia game. And I think they'll continue it. I think Clemson will win 35 to 19. 35 to 19.
It won't be over 20. Florida State won't get over 20 points.
Did you say 19 too?
Mm-hmm.
35 to 17.
You doubting my men with the spears. I'm gonna go 38-24, and they lose.
Oh, I was like,
upset alert. 24 points. That'd be a dream at this point.
Sometimes dreams come true.
Clemson has a good defense. That'll be key. Any game keys, or are you just broken?
I don't really know what to tell you. I think Klubnik has looked better. Good wide receivers, great running game. And you can't pass rush or stop the run, it seems. So if you want any chance in that, if this locker room is still together, this team still believes, there's always a chance. But I don't know how much fans will show up. They might be done, man. Might be done. So
stop the run. You stop the run, you make Klubnik a passer, you might be in an okay spot.
Even Klubnik has looked good passing.
He has, but he's had both elements of the offense going. Hasn't been. I guess those teams are probably better than FSU, but talent-wise, FSU has more talent. So we saw what Georgia did to Clemson. It was fantastic, suffocating defense, and all they really did was stop the run, play tight coverage, and Klubnik couldn't make the throws. So I don't know. We'll see. Week 5 in college football was a pretty good one. I think we just get into it. Probably the game of the year. Georgia and Alabama. Georgia at Alabama. College Game Day was there. I thought it was pretty awesome that they had Nick Saban's wife, Miss Terry, on the panel. That was pretty fun. Great dynamic, good crowd. That might have been the loudest I've heard an Alabama game crowd in a long time. That was kind of jarring. They were pretty loud in that first half, especially. Still overrated fan base. Don't show up to their games, but that was better than a lot of them. But it was also the number 2 team in the country. So
yeah, it was a fun game. How could you not love it? Georgia coming all the way back, but they just didn't have enough to take the win.
Ryan Williams, holy moly!
He looks weightless. Just pure speed. You just can't coach that or teach that. That's just pure talent.
The way he shifts and jukes, the half spin, like the
spins are crazy.
It's crazy. Like the way he moves is absolutely different. And I saw he put a picture of Michael Vick as his Instagram profile picture after the game. That's pretty funny. But yeah, Ryan Williams is a freak. I think. Honestly, Milroe had to have, kind of silenced a lot of doubters this game. I'm a big Jalen Milroe guy. I like watching him play. Obviously, he slowed down when they stopped the run, but I do think more of that went down to Alabama's defense in the second half, who definitely looks like it has some holes, especially on the back end. But so does Georgia's. That was a really good game. I think we might. It's very likely we see that game again. Maybe not in the SEC championship. Maybe in the expanded playoff. But yeah. I mean, any other games that, suited our fancy last week, week 5? Ole Miss went down.
Yeah, but they should have won.
They should have, yeah.
I mean, Kentucky, I'm not going to crown them as being good, though, but.
Yeah, nothing much. Utah goes down to Arizona. Weird.
That is weird.
Oh, we got to talk Miami. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Rigged game.
Totally rigged. Virginia Tech won. That was a catch. Even if it wasn't, they ruled it on the field, and there was nothing that you could do to overturn it. You guys got lucky. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to give Miami any credit yet that they're some good team. Look at the schedule last year. It was the exact same, and it was just like Georgia Tech in Week 5 coming in last year and beating you guys because you forgot how to take a knee, and then you fumble it like idiots. It was like the exact same thing. Like, team for team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a team with a pulse is going to beat you guys.
I don't know how they overturned that, man. I don't know how you overturned that.
Intervened.
They did.
Intervened.
Honestly, like...
It was rigged completely.
I'm not one to question officiating, stuff like that, but that smelled of a rigged game. I mean, that is crazy overturn.
There was nothing... There's no indisputable evidence. That's why they got to talk about that. And, like, here's the thing. And I get it. I would even be for refs not making the call. If they really don't know, don't make the call. Just let it go to replay. I would much rather have that than this stupid rule where it's whatever they call, then you have to have this crazy amount of evidence to overturn it. So just do away with that if you don't like it so much. But until that point, go by the rules, follow it.
Yeah.
There was nothing that could have told me that wasn't a catch.
Yeah.
Or
absolutely.
was, because it really was hard to tell. But it was called a touchdown. And you got away. And even Virginia Tech played so bad. Terrible clock management to end it there. They had 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And, before we know it, they got 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So
fake field goal at a horrible time. I mean, yeah, they sold that game. They really did.
Do you think we could save the picks for the Instagram post for this week?
Sure. I mean, yeah, we could do it. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, look out. Just big game real quick. Missouri at Texas A&M. That'll be a good one at noon. What's the game day game this week? Does anyone know? Where are they going?
Isn't it Cal and Miami?
No way.
I think it is. I swear it is.
Oh, man. That's...
Communists versus convicts.
That stinks. Tennessee at Arkansas. That could be a good game. They had this is a pretty lackluster slate, but I'm sure something will stick out. Syracuse at UNLV Friday night. That could be a fun game.
Yeah, who'd have thought Syracuse lost their quarterback and then put up 59 on Fresno State, who I thought was a lot better than that, but apparently not.
Yeah, wild stuff. But yeah, we can go to those picks on Instagram. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Look out for our picks on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Comment down below. What's wrong with USF? Maybe. Do you guys think Florida or FSU will be able to pull off a win this Saturday at home?
Who's more likely to win?
Yeah, who's more likely to win?
Why is it Florida?
It's because Florida's playing a worse team. But who knows? Yeah, comment your thoughts. What matchup are you excited to watch this week? and on the college football slate. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube or follow us on Spotify and Instagram and Twitter. And hope you guys have a beautiful and blessed night.